Hey everybody, welcome back to another Unit 6 video lecture. And in this lecture we're going to talk about interconverting between mass and moles. That was the subject of chapter 37 in the book. And so the big points here for this chapter is this right here. Okay, is that when you do lab, everything has to be measured in grams. Okay, so we go to lab, we put things on a balance, the balance gets things in grams. When we go to the hospital, we measure things out in grams. When we do things in the kitchen, we measure things out in mass, we use grams. All the chemistry that's done in real life is done in grams or mass. Okay, but when you do the math on paper, the math on paper has to be done in moles. Okay, when you, like, for example, build a bicycle, you need 2 wheels, 1 frame, a set of handlebars, 2 brakes, okay, and that's all quantities. It's not mass. You don't get, 14 grams of brakes. You get 2 brakes. So when you do math, when you do chemistry on paper, the paper version is all done in moles. But when you do it in the lab, it's all done in grams. And so in order to be proficient chemists, we have to be able to interconvert between the two so that we're ready, whether we're doing it by mass or by volume. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to do an example using sugar, C6H12O6. I think in previous videos we determined that the molar mass of sugar is 180 grams per mole. We rounded it to that. Okay, so so how do we use this to go in between, or to interconvert between grams and moles? Okay, here's what we do. Let's say we take, or we have on paper that we need 2 moles of sugar. Okay, well, here's what we're going to do. We're going to multiply and then set up a fraction. Notice here there's a fraction, okay, or set up a line. That line represents 2 sides of the fraction. So here's what this is how, I wish I could take any credit for this, but this is my colleague. So we're going to multiply, and then what we're going to do is the opposite side of mole. So if mole's on the top here, which it is, we're going to put mole on the bottom, and then we're going to take the other unit and put it on the top. So gram, mole, we put mole on the bottom, gram on the top, and so now it's here. So now what numbers do we put in there? That's 180 grams for every 1 mole. And then we do the math, and that's going to be 360 grams, because look what happens. Mole and mole cancels. One's on the top, one's on the bottom, and so they cancel. Okay, so let's do another one of these. Okay, again, let's stick with sugar, C6, actually, to get a little more room, I'll put it up here. C6H12O6 equals 180 grams per mole. I'll put it up here, and that way it's there. Okay, so let's say again we do this on paper, and instead of 2 moles, let's say we need 0.33 moles. Okay, so 1/3 of a mole. So again, we're going to X line. Okay, and we're going to do moles, and so moles is here, so we're going to put moles on the bottom here. Whatever unit we're trying to get rid of, we put on the bottom. Then we're going to put grams on the top. So this is 180 grams for every 1 mole, and now we do the math. 0.33 times 180 is right around 60 grams of sugar. Moles cancel. We do 0.33 times 180. And we get 60 grams of sugar. Okay, let's try it with a different compound, or let's go from mass to moles. Okay, so again, sugar is Sugar is 180 grams per mole. And so let's say in the lab, we're going to try to do some predictions. And then, so we need to know how many moles so that we can write it on paper. Okay, so let's say we need 90 grams of sugar. Well, we set up our X line, that's what we call it. And now we're going to switch it around. Grams here on the bottom, and then moles on the top. And this is where everybody gets screwed up, is because a lot of people will still put the 180 on the top, but that's not where it goes. Look at what unit is associated with grams. What is it? 180 grams for every 1 mole. And so now you do 90 times 1 divided by 180, and that's going to be 0.5 moles. You'll notice grams cancel, and there you go. So what that does is it allows us to interconvert between grams and moles, and trust me, we're going to have a lot of practice on this when we get to class. Have a great day.